Never read this book, opened it. I genuinely have no idea why I got it. There was nothing wrong with this rather than the fact that I hated the plot in the second book because it kind of ruined everything from the first book. I'm sure it gets better, but I don't care. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I've surprisingly filmed 2 videos this week. Be happy, be proud of me, okay? But today's video is going to be me going through all the books that I have unhauled. I had unhauled these books months and months ago, but I'm going to go through them again, and I think I might end up keeping a couple of them, even though I have absolutely no shelf space. I actually have more books in my closet, but that's inside of a box. Yeah. Anyways, so I have like a solid, move you guys a little bit just so I can show you guys. I have like a box and a bag that has books in there right now. So I'm gonna go through those, show you guys which books I'm keeping, which books I'm not keeping, talk about why I'm not keeping them or why I am keeping them, and let's get started. The first book was actually a gift. I'm so sorry. This one is called Justice for Sarah, and my aunt got it for me, and she asked me, she's like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah. And it sounded really interesting. It's essentially about this girl, I think, who's like gone missing. A brutal tragedy that won't stay in the past, a woman determined to uncover the truth, a killer who will stop at nothing to keep the truth buried. It sounds interesting, but my biggest thing right now is that like if I'm not going to read it, then I'm not going to keep it. This one had been on my shelf for I think 2 years, and it just wasn't working out. So we're just not going to keep it. The next one is The Nightingale, which actually still has a bookmark in it. My Scholastic Book Fair bookmarks. But anyways, this is Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale, and this is a thick book. I read a couple of pages of it, and I wasn't really keen on continuing it. I DNF'd it, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to go back to it, so we're not going to keep that one. The next one is Play With Me by Becca Mack, and guys, I really wanted to keep this book. I really do, because I do really want to read this. It is the second book of the I forgot what this series is called. Playing for Keeps series, I think. But it is the second book of the series, and these covers are now discontinued in Canada, and so I can't find them anywhere. So I was like, you know what, instead of just like keeping it, I might as well just like donate it. By the way, all of these are going to a used bookstore. I will be donating them. The next 2 I want to talk about are books that I read, books that I enjoyed, but I genuinely do not think I will ever read again. Let's talk about Katie Roberts' The Wicked Villain series. I read Desperate Measures, and I actually really enjoyed this book. I'm going to be honest. This was a really good read. I think I might end up keeping this one. It had a cute little plot. It was not cute or little. It's literally dark romance. It was good though. I enjoyed this book. The next one is A Worthy Opponent by Katie Robert. And I tabbed this book, okay? And listen, I enjoyed it, okay? And the purple tabs, trust me, they're beautiful, okay? Hold up. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see them. Beautiful tabs, right? But this book, okay, let me just say something about it. It didn't really have a plot, and it just felt like a whole lot of smut to me, which is fine. Like, you do you, but I just did not prefer this book because I feel like there could have been a plot and it just wasn't there, so that was really annoying. The next one is a lot of these books, by the way, I got used. I think there's probably like 2 in here that weren't used, so yeah. The next one that oh my god, why is my wrist hurting? Got is Teaching with Fire, Poetry That Sustains the Courage to Teach. And I don't know why I got this book. I'm not a teacher. I don't plan on being a teacher. I have nothing to do with teaching. Never read this book, opened it. I genuinely have no idea why I got it. The next one is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I think that's how you say it. I haven't read this one, and I wasn't thinking on planning to. Guys, one thing about me is I don't like reading sad books. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, sad books are just not for me. And no, I did not do this. This was like that when I got it. It's sad, I know. I think I might tape it before I give it away. The next one, I don't think I'm also going to give because my brother has been getting into reading recently, and he is 12 years old. And I don't know the age limit on this one, but I'm pretty sure like it'll be appropriate for his age. This is The Young Elites by Mary Lou, and I really wanted to get into Mary Lou's writing in 2020 because I'm gonna be honest, I was on mainstream book talk, and whatever book talk was recommending I was picking up, and this was also used, found it at my local library for a at a used book sale. Oh my god, there's a bird on the tree. um and I was like, you know what, this sounds interesting, let me get it. And so I got it. Have I read it? No. Does it sound interesting? Yes. Am I going to read it? No. But I think I might ask my brother about this, and then we'll see where we go from there. The next one I have been wanting to read for a solid while, but I never get around to it. And I kind of just like, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know if I want to keep this one because I always keep going back to it. This is Beautiful Lies by Lisa Unger. I think that's how you say it. And the plot just sounds really interesting to me. It's a thriller, it's a literary thriller with one of the freshest voices and heroines to arrive in years. Lisa Unger takes us on a breathtaking ride in which every choice Ridley makes creates a whirlwind of consequences that are impossible to imagine. That just sounds really interesting to me. I think I might put this in my keep pile. I don't know where I'm going to keep these books, so I might end up just like letting you guys know in the end if I actually want to keep the books from the keep pile. Okay, so we're just gonna put this in like my, I guess, maybe pile. Okay. The next one is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I have heard some interesting things about this author. Please do your own research. And I no longer want to keep it on my bookshelves. That's all I'm gonna say. So we're not gonna keep that. Um, okay. The next one, I read this one ages ago, and it's actually annotated. I have to go through and take all of my tabs out from all these books, but this is Bare to You by Sylvia Day. And this is like really, I don't think I'm ever gonna read this book again. It was good, okay, it was good. I'm not gonna say it was a bad book. It was a good book, but I just don't think I'm gonna read it again. Like, the funny story about this is that my sister bought this because she thought it was like a thriller, and and she was like reading through it, and she's like, "Sarah, this is not a thriller," and I was like, "Yeah, babes, I know," but yeah. So then I ended up reading this, but I don't have much to say about that one. Um, okay, now the next thing is that okay, let me grab this book. I think I might end up keeping this one. This is Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, and I wanted to read this book, and I was so happy when I got my hands on it, but I could not get behind it. But I do think I will end up keeping it because I've kind of been going into dark academia lately. I started reading this book and it just wasn't really working for me, but I do think now that I'm kind of like, again, a lot of, actually, let me mention this before. A lot of the books I read them back in 2021. Okay, so I was like, what, 19? No, what the heck, no, not 19. I was like 17. I was 17 years old, 16 years old reading these books. And so I think, like, obviously, like, now that I'm older and I understand these books better. And I think Lee Bardugo's Ninth House is one of them. I did take the cover off. I didn't like it. So we're going to keep this one. The next one is The Odyssey by Homer. So I had to read this book I had to read it for a class, I think. And it was ages ago. It was in like my first year, and it was a recommended reading, and I wanted to check it out. But then I ended up getting this copy, and so I wanted to return it, but they gave me my money back, but they didn't take the book back. So that was really annoying. And I was like, okay, I keep it. But guys, look at this. Are we seeing how tiny that is? Like, no, thank you. I'm good. So we're not keeping that one. But that is my first bag of books. Now we're gonna move on to the box. Okay, now before I begin with the box, I just want to mention that if any of my friends or anyone in Calgary is looking at this and they do want to reach out for any of the books, feel free to. My social media is in the description box, and it's also in the outro in the end, so feel free to reach out. Okay, so the first book is The Lies We Tell by Meg Carter, and I was in a thriller phase for a while, and I still am. It has to really appeal to me, and this one sounds good, but it's just not something that really sounds interesting to me right now. Let's talk about this next book, okay, because this one also has a story. This is The Never King by Nikki St. Crow, and I found this is actually a pretty recent buy, I would say. I think I bought this in January, which is recent for me, okay? And okay, so I got this from the section of Silver, and that's a local store, and it just sounded really good to me, right? But what I did not realize was that this is a why choose. And how I found out it was a why choose is because I started reading this book, and then my cousin saw me reading it, and she picked it up, and she started reading it, right? And she ended up reading it way faster than I did. And then she's like, wait, like, not that I really know that. She was like, oh, like, I don't really like that stuff. And I was like, what? And she's like, this is happening. I was like, oh, I don't know that. And so the first book is like, it was an interesting book, but the next two books, I think it's a trilogy, they were just not up my lane. I'm sorry, like I don't really read why choose, and so that's one of the reasons that I was giving this away. Anyways, let's move on to the next one, which you guys might be a little bit surprised. This one is actually from Pakistan. I got this one from Pakistan. This is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, and I have never read Twilight in my life. And I got this when I was 14, I think, and I don't think I'm ever going to read it. So we're donating it. The next one is The Stylist Takes Manhattan. I got this one ages ago. This was from like back when like how old was I? I was pretty young. I was pretty young. I think I got this when me and Alicia first hung out, which was in what 2019 20 yeah. No, it was 2021 because I remember we were wearing masks. I remember that very clearly. But yeah, not interesting, not going to read it. So this next one, I have no idea where I got this from, to be honest. I think, oh, this one's also from Pakistan. This is Ellen Hopkins' Identical, and I think it's a poetry collection. It's thick, and I'm going to be honest, it's just not as interesting as I thought it would be. Read a couple of things from this, didn't really like it, giving it away. I don't really have much of a reason, but I guess I do have a reason, but I don't have an in-depth reason. Okay. Now the next two books I'm going to talk about are okay. I have a long story behind these two books. So this is Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I think that's how you say it. And I loved this book. This was a really, really good book. I read this in my second year of uni. Tabbed the crap out of it. And now here's the interesting story about why I'm giving these away. I did really enjoy this book. I don't think I'm going to read it again. And I think the main reason behind that is okay, now this has nothing to do with the author. Before actually I mentioned that, let me show you guys the next book I'm talking about. This is As Long as the Rivers Flow. I do really want to read this book again. I don't know for sure if I'm going to give this one away or that one, but let me just kind of explain. I also tabbed the crap out of that one. I just want to explain what happened behind these books. Now, okay, so story time. In my second year, the professor that I was taking this class with, really, really great professor, and the semester was great. And I think we were reading Purple Hibiscus when this conversation came up, but there was I don't even remember how this conversation came up. There was some sort of situation where he brought up a book that he was reading, and the book that he was reading was from a perspective of a Muslim who had a different idea of Islam. Okay, now mind you, I didn't know this, but obviously, like, okay, I'm visibly Muslim, right? Not everybody else is. Like, he started talking about this book. And now it's one thing to have a belief on something because you have done your research. It's another thing to have a belief on something just because you heard someone else say it, right? And so he started going off about the prophet. He started going off about God, right? He started going off about the religion and just blatant Islamophobia, absolutely blatant Islamophobia. We ended up having a huge like debate about this, and he was just disrespecting Islam back and forth. And this was just a very, very traumatic situation for me because he ended up saying a lot of things to me about the way that I dress and whatever, and specifically like by name. And he's like, "Oh, Sarah dresses like this, Sarah dresses like that." And I was like, "Ugh." And this was or wasn't no, it was my first year. Sorry, it wasn't my second year. It was my first year, and so very traumatic experience. I might make a story time about this on my TikTok one day because it is a conversation I want to have, especially in terms of academia. But yeah, so these two books kind of have that history, which I really don't want to go back on. The next one is The Wrath and the Dawn, which I also took the cover off. I have the cover of this one, but I just took it off because I don't really like hardbacks unless like the cover's off. But this is The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdi, I think that's how you say it. This book I read, I really liked it. I read this one on my Kindle, I'm pretty sure. And as much as I wanted to get the second book, I couldn't find it. And then I was like, I don't want to like really order. Oh my god, I'm holding it the wrong way. Okay. I'm like, I don't want to order the book and whatever, so we're just giving this one away. Okay. And then, okay, before I show you guys the next ones, I do want to mention something. Um, a couple of these books, okay, backstory time. So I have been on BookTok and on Bookstagram, kind of just doing this whole book social media stuff since 2020, I'm pretty sure. And so I have gotten PR way back, but I deleted those accounts. Okay, I deleted, like, I had an account that almost hit 2K, and I ended up deleting it because I wasn't vibing with the content, I wasn't vibing with the people I followed, and I wanted to take a social media break, and so I just deleted the entire account. So a couple of these books are arcs from like 2020, 2021, which I'm not going to be reading any longer. Before I post this video, I think I might do a little bit of research before I love to give away arcs, so we'll see. But a couple of these are arcs, like the next one. This is The Secret Diary of Mona Hassan by Salma Hussein, and I'm just not gonna read this one. I thought I would be into like YA, but I'm not. I might ask my brother if he wants to read it. I don't think he will, but it's worth the ask. The next one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. Read this one, did not enjoy it. Did not like the writing style. It just wasn't my cup of tea. The next one is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I don't really. I'm not gonna read it, and I don't like this cover. People on a cover I really can't stand. So that's practically my only reason. The next one, when did I read this one? This one I think I might read again, or I think I might just keep it actually, because I think I might need to read it again for my degree. I don't know. But this is When We Were Orphans by Kazuo Ishiguro, and I know this author is very famous, don't come for me. I think I might keep this one. Again, I found a newfound love for like literature like this, and I've been understanding it better, so we're gonna keep this one. I have no idea where I'm gonna put all of these guys. Genuinely, I think I might just put them in a box somewhere else because I have no room. Like unless I move my candles, which I think I may end up doing. The next one is Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. I got this one from my friend. Don't think I'm gonna read it. That's about it. Now we have Verity by Colleen Hoover. This author I cannot stand. Like I don't even know where to begin with Colleen Hoover, so we're not gonna keep it. Next one is Divergent. I think I do have the entire Divergent series, but again, it's not a book that I'm going to read. I read it. It was good. It was mid. Not something I'm going to read again. This is the Shadow and Bone series, and I absolutely despise the second book. Therefore, I did not even touch the third one. I have not watched the show. I watched 2 episodes, did not like it, and yeah, that's like about it. There was nothing wrong with this, rather than the fact that I hated the plot in the second book because it kind of ruined everything from the first book. I'm sure it gets better, but I don't care. The next one is Gossip Girl, and people on a cover not vibing with it. Okay, this one, guys, I know, and I know every single person and their moms like this book, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Um, I read a couple. I read not even a couple. I think I read half the book, and I did not like it. Yeah, that's like about it. I'm just not vibing with it, so I'm not gonna read it. The last one is One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serro. Really enjoyed this book. The author has some interesting things that I do not agree with. I don't even want to say she's controversial. She just there's humanity issues up in there, so we're not going to keep this one. Anyways, that is the end of all of the books that I'm keeping and all of the ones I am not. I'm quickly going to put the books back in the bag, and then I will tell you guys which ones I'm keeping for sure and which ones I am not. I think I will keep When We Were Orphans. This book I have written in. I think I'll keep it around until I don't want it. So we'll keep this one. I'm also going to keep Ninth House for now. I'm going to read it in the fall. I will see if I like it or not. I've heard good things about it, so we will see. The Young Elites, I'm going to keep around for my brother, see if he wants it. If he doesn't, then I will be donating that one. And then Beautiful Lies, I think I will give this one away. I don't think I'm going to keep this one. And then Desperate Measures, I think I'm also going to give this one away. I don't think I'm going to read it. And even if I want to, I can just read it on my Kindle. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my little unhaul. Wasn't so little. And stay tuned for another episode soon. I don't know what it's going to be. Another video soon. I don't know what it's going to be. But yeah. Bye.